Hi, water signs. Tara here, Hidden Lotus Tarot. Today is September 25th, and I'm coming to you with a mini cross elemental water reading. So this is a reading for all water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. This is a general reading, and it will not resonate with everyone. And in order to gain any insight into your particular situation, requires a personal reading. If you'd like to access my website, you can simply click on the little box. That'll take you over directly. I have many different types of phone readings. I have private video readings. If you join in the membership, you gain access to astrology gallery, metaphysical gallery, individual monthly tarot. I'm bringing a romance gallery, but you also get 2 free birth charts. I do interpretation for you, and there are plenty of articles. There are 3 levels of membership. You can go over to the website, take a look at the join today, and you will see the 3 different levels of membership. Okay. Now, I will be posting up, for those of you who are watching that are already members, I will be getting to the Libra and Scorpio individual monthlies today. I don't know what time, so you'll have to check back. We'll just go from there. Now, we have a really exciting aspect happening this week on September 27th. It is the last of the Jupiter-Uranus opposition. This started back in December 2016. And we know that Libra rules partnerships. So this can be a bunch of shocking, upsetting, maybe even revolutionary happenings concerning relationships, not just romantic relationships, but maybe something within the family or friendships or business-wise. Maybe some of you, have met somebody that, you wanted to start a new project, and you've met somebody and that person is just like out of the blue. There's a click and you guys can get together and do a lot of things. For others of you, this could be leaving a relationship quite suddenly and unexpectedly. But do know that Uranus offers freedom. It's hard to look at it that way sometimes, but Uranus is that's why you see, like the German elections, Uranus rules Aquarius, and Aquarius rules groups. So you saw all of these German political parties popping up, and everybody wants their stake in the pie, and it's a huge revolution. Uranus will be in Aries until 2020. So he's still got some time to go. So on the 27th, he went direct. He's now going to go back retrograde on the 27th. And Jupiter, who has been in retrograde, will now move direct, moving into the sign of Scorpio October 10th. And that's a money sign. So it's a relationship house, and it's also a money sign. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm so excited for it. Ooh, that card keeps popping out. There's a 10 of Wands. This tells me that right now, for some of you water signs, you're in a place where maybe you've got a lot of responsibilities, a lot of irons in the fire. I never look at that card as a burden, because he's carrying those wands in front of him. A burden implies that it's something that you can't get out from under. And this is really just either trying to put one foot in the other and keep the nose to the ground. So you see, there's a destination. That's where he's trying to get. And he's just trying to get there the best way that he can. But this can also be the card of dropping those things that, you really that really aren't that important towards where it is you're trying to go, or having those, halving those things, breaking those wands and carrying 5 on each side. Work on what you can, get done what you can, and don't stress over the rest of it. But there are lots of leaves on these, and so that implies that there's something that you're focused on, you're hyped up about. Maybe you're angry about it even, because you're like, well, I'm not going to be doing this anymore. But the leaves imply growth. Okay. So again, this is general, so it's not going to resonate with everybody. Let's get the rest of the cards down. And what we want to do is, I don't know where my fan is. What we want to do is see what is the base of this, the foundation. So the bottom card, here's the Three of Cups. There's an Ace of Swords. There's a Seven of Cups. And there's a Hermit card. Well, now what's interesting is that this 10 of coins, I'm sorry, 10 of cups, and this 10 of wands came out for the elemental air. In their place of what's coming up in the future, they had a 3 of wands. Here we have the foundation of the 3 of cups. This is our overall energy here, this 10 of cups. So I think for many people, no matter what your sun sign has been, no matter what your moon sign or your rising sign, there has been an unusually high number of planetary stelliums starting back in June through Cancer, through Leo. And now the 6th, 7th, and 8th house are chock full of stelliums. Stelliums are 3 or more planets in a particular sign or house. Now, for those of you who have your asteroid charts, you know, you may look at that 0 Aries chart and be like, damn, I got 9 bodies. And okay, that's significant. It's significant. So even if, let's say you don't, one of those houses is empty. Well, you may be dealing with somebody who has a full house. Okay. So I don't think anybody has escaped this rather chaotic is not the right word. I think confusing would be the right word. I feel for some of you water signs that, you know, we only have the 1 wands here. And we got these cups and then we've got this sword. And here's this hermit. Maybe some of you have come to the realization that something has to change. You've been carrying a lot. Maybe you've been doing more than your fair share. Okay. And I feel that for some of you, you're going to remove yourself from that environment. Okay. Because you really need to gain some clarity. As we see, we had clarity at some point. Okay. This is what this means. We had some clarity at one point, but now perhaps it's the many things that you're trying to handle or juggle, or that you're trying to carry through. And now it's created more problems than what you originally thought was going to happen. I do feel that for some of you, this has come about through either some kind of, it's a 3. I'm not going to say this is about a partying, but this is the Lord of is it the Lord of Pleasure? I can't remember exactly what the card is called. And the time frame is July 2nd. It's a 2-week time frame, so add 2 weeks to that, whatever the hell that's going to be. For some of you, this could be about meeting other people, there has been a joyful aspect to this. This is about a celebration. This could be a marriage, an engagement, a wedding, a graduation. It could be simply the fact that you've met some people that you can have a lot of enjoyment with. Most tarot card readers will tell you that has to do with 3 women. That may be so. I would just simply say that if that's not the case, then what we're looking at is a bunch of feminine energy where everybody's emotional, the way that they relate to each other on an emotional level is very nurturing and very supporting. Okay, that's the feminine energy. It is this thing at the top, this energy to come. And maybe some of you have really, really struggled to get to this point. The Ace of Swords, this is our energy from the past moving to the future. So the Ace of Swords is the card of truth. It is the card of rationalization. It is a card of intellectual know-how. This card says that you're going to be able to see something in a new way. You're going to be able to recognize the truth of it in a new way. Maybe something has come about that has given you a new spark, a new idea, what your concept of truth is. But remember, too, that swords can cut both ways, okay? I think for some of you, I feel that for some of you, whatever this thing is, some of you maybe are even trying to avoid it. And not necessarily avoid it from the standpoint that you don't want to deal with it. You're avoiding it from the standpoint of, you know, I don't have time for that right now. That's what I'm picking up. And this is creating some confusion. This card to me always represents having a lot of options, okay, and not knowing which is the best, which is the real, the true. Maybe this could be about fantasizing about having so many things that this is actually kind of interfering with your enjoyment level. This could also be about coming to the realization that, you know, I've been working so hard and I deserve to get something, you know, and here, let me toss all of these things up in the air and give it some real thought, okay? I also feel that perhaps some of you will meet someone. This Hermit is kind of blocking this Ten of Wands here. The Ten of Wands guy is headed in a particular direction. He has a particular destination in mind where he can lay those wands down. But I also think that there's someone, and this is Virgo rules the 6th house. The 6th house is the house of work, service, and duty. Work, service, and duty to others, but also work, service, and duty to yourself. And some of you may be at a point where you realize that you can no longer do this by yourself. And maybe someone else has come in to show you this, to offer you a different view of this. This is not the what do you call it? The hanged man energy. This is somebody who has given great thought and great depth, can maybe even say, you know, I've been there and I've done that. So, you know, I have been in the dark myself. That's why I'm holding this. I had to go spend some time by myself and hold this lamp out, you know, so that I could see through the dark. But guess what? I'm back to tell you here, I'm holding this lamp out for you to let you know that there's still light at the end of the tunnel. But it's going to require that you give it some deep thought. Okay, does that make any sense? Now, this Ten of Cups represents great emotional contentment. It is about giving up. It's the Piscean energy. It is about giving up, sacrificing for others so that they can have a better benefit. That's that 6th house thing. See how this is working? But also it's saying to you, because the cups are in a rainbow, rainbows can be illusory. You might be chasing something that's not real. Okay, so in other words, you might be devoting a lot of time to something that's really not going to manifest itself. It's a dream. It's an illusion. And so you're being asked to stop and get to the truth of that. In which case, what I will tell you is, it's not about giving up your hopes and dreams. It's about taking a look at, is what I'm doing really getting me closer to those things? Or should I perhaps reassess those things that I'm really after? You know, does it really matter if I'm driving, you know, the latest, if I'm able to lease the latest Lexus? You know, if I'm working more just to pay that lease off, then that means I don't have enough energy or time or focus or money to actually do something that's going to help me really get to where I want to go. These cards are, I got the right cards? Yeah. I want to take a look at the 7 of Cups. There are no repeated numbers here. None. And what the 10 of Wands is saying to me with the Hermit card, I think some of you may be realizing that you've gone as far as you can go right now. And now you're being asked to stop and take stock. Okay? Sometimes what is good to you is not good for you. Yes? For some of you, this could be that you yourself are dealing with some type of addiction, or you're dealing with someone else who has an addiction of some sort. The sixth house rules health. You know, they say your health is your wealth. Well, if you got somebody who's, you know, always partying, they're not, you know, doing their own work, they're taking more resources from you. Resources are not just finances. You know, resources are thoughts, feelings, emotions, time, energy. So if someone is taking a lot of resources from you and they're not giving something back, you know, this 10 of says that you can fix that. And you may be on the path to do it by yourself. So is it real? Is it live? Or is it Memorex? What is it? Remember that I was saying about that cuts both ways? Sometimes that Ace of Swords can be a harsh truth. Not just a truth like, aha. It can be a harsh truth. All right. Let's take a look at this 7 of Cups here. This is what I want to look at. And then I'm going to look at the Hermit. I don't even think I need to look at the Hermit, because the Hermit just tells me that this is a moment of pause. Some of you could be dealing with a physical issue. Maybe it's your back has been bothering you. Maybe your legs, hips, or feet. This guy's frozen. His feet are frozen. And like, you know, like me, when I fell off the damn porch, that was really the universe's way of telling me I got to slow down. I didn't want to hear it, but, you know, that's how it works sometimes. Belvedere. So here we have someone looking at all of these different options, this confusion, someone who's trying to make plans but is unclear about what it is that they're doing, or what it is that they really want, or what it is that they really desire. There's the Il Nemico. Remember I said there could be somebody who's blocking you from this. That speaks to concealed hate, envy. There's a rival here, a rivalry. This could be, if you're, you know, no matter if you're same-sex or heterosexual, you're dealing with a male who may have addiction issues. See, this is great foresight and planning. But all that foresight and planning, see what comes in between those two things? There's the Kaza. The Kaza speaks to security and safety. It's an investment. It's a low-risk investment. It is, this also looks like a bank to me, a very formal kind of building. So this could be, maybe you're trying to coax someone into going into therapy. You know, I don't know. Your situation is different. This Il Nemico, though, can also be being your own worst enemy, because you're refusing to deal with the truth of the situation. Maybe you're hoping pie in the sky that this person or this situation is going to change on its own. Well, sometimes you have to be the change you want to see. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and pull cards on this Hermit. And for some of you, this could be what you're dealing with right now. This will play out into October. Some of you may be going through it right now. Others of you, October. Vedovo, il Vedovo, the widower, the man tied to his past. That Giovanni Fanciulla, she came out in the air signs too. Let's pull the next card. I do feel that this is about a relationship, either that someone is trying to obviously get clarity on, but they're mourning something about it. Okay? Maybe someone has left. They're headed into a new relationship. Okay? And everything's on hold right now. These two have their backs to each other. He's looking back at her. You know, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you about that. All right, what I want you to do is formulate a question, and I'm going to pull a, yeah, I'm not going to bullshit you. I don't know what to tell you about that. Pull your Heart Oracle Tarot. And people are always surprised when they get readings from me because I use, oh God, 4, 5, 6 different decks when I do a reading. You know, I really like to use the Lenormands a lot of times. I don't do those here on the channel, but I do use them a lot in personal readings. All right. Isn't that something? It's the 9 of Pentacles. Isn't that something? There it is, a well-deserved reward. And maybe that's what that energy of the Hermit is all about. It's a moment of pause and reflection. All right, let's look at this 9 of Pentacles here. Discipline, gracious, compassion, and satisfaction. Your efforts are paying off. When this card appears, it suggests that you have seen or will soon find your relationships falling into place. It hasn't always been easy, but you had the discipline to persevere. As you worked to create fulfilling relationships, you sometimes had to give more than you would have liked, but you've seen the positive results of that action, and you've kept the ultimate goal in mind. Remember that, guys, he's got a destination that he's going to. Be proud of yourself. You've shown that you're self-reliant and confident. You're entering a phase of your life where your dealings with others will become effortless. And maybe that Vendivo is not a person, but it's the simple concept of laying old things to rest. Because there's a new Giovanni Fanciulla, there's a new contract, a new bond, a new relationship, in whatever manner that means for you, on the horizon. It says, be considerate and compassionate in your interactions. There is less need for confrontation now. Diplomacy is the better approach. As you move forward, expect to feel satisfaction with your accomplishments regarding love and its many aspects. You're being blessed for your hard work. So even though it may not seem like it right now, you know, don't give up. I do still feel that for some of you, you're going to have to get some real clarity on what it is that's happening around you and what it is you really want. So until next time, water signs, namaste.